This time we're introducing poplar, oak, mountain ash, lime, larch and holly. So I'm not going to talk about poplars in specifics varieties. I just want to show you the different forms. There are upright ones, round ones. They all have a very sharp bud, brown, red, something of that sort, budding up here in about late February. Very colourful catkins, as you can see, yellows and reds. And the young bark here, very smooth, so different to the mature bark. This little tree with its leaves still on, mainly because it's young, juvenile. They do hang on to the leaves, much like beech, much like many trees do. This more mature one has lost them completely, showing the little bunches of buds towards the end. This is a young tree, I don't know, 40 years old, something like that. Always with very crooked branches. Rarely do you get a long straight piece unless it's grown in a woodland situation. Mature bark for an older tree, very old craggy tree here. The mountain ash with its slightly orange bark here in this picture, probably to do with the sunshine actually. Typical bud formation, typical open branch structure. You get the hang of recognising those with a little bit of experience, but very open like that, angular sometimes. And then a close-up of the bud at the end here. Mature lime trees here with mistletoe in their crowns, common. Pointy alternate buds, browny red. Sometimes, some varieties, the twigs are even red in the current year. And this is typically an avenue of controlled lime trees, pollarded every few years. All the twiggery from around the base is removed. Keeps them quite neat. Left to their own devices, however, they end up looking like this. Grown in a wood, this tree has had some work done. Larch here is one of those most confusing of things. It's a deciduous conifer that loses all its needles and ends up looking like this. Those are the cones, but it looks pretty tatty and dead. And lastly in this group, holly, here represented with a sort of a conical shaped tree with its berries on, but here's a mature one, larger one that's not been clipped or anything. And you'll notice as you look closely that the younger leaves are prickly. However, where a tree becomes more mature, it gets almost round habit, with very few prickles on it at all. So this clipped hedge, for instance, will always present with prickly leaves. This is a different variety, just to show the slightly different forms which are available. Very, very sharp thorns on this one, quite spiteful. And lastly, just to illustrate that they will grow pretty much anywhere. They'll grow under the canopy in the shade of a beech wood. Birds drop the seeds everywhere, and they're giving out gorse and thorn, and it's growing away. Quite a resilient little tree. If you require more information about any gardening problems, contact priestgate.co.uk.